And howdy, everyone. Eric Allard here with Tilson Homes, part of the fourth generation of the Tilson family. So grateful that you're joining us for another installment of Tilson Live. We are joined, as we are every week, by the great, the marvelous, the wonderful, the all things marketing in the home building industry and beyond, Dawn Dantzler. How are you, Dawn?
Hi, everybody. I'm doing well.
Yeah, good. So, folks, hop in here. Tell us where you're watching from. We'll be monitoring the chat as we do every single time we do one of these. So tell us where you're watching from. We love to know all the different corners of not just, I was going to say corners of Texas, but we're not just Texas. It's not just Texas they watch from, Dawn. Where are we watching from? We watch from all kinds
Colorado Springs.
Good.
And Sherry is with us from Bastrop.
Bastrop, Texas. Wonderful. So yeah, tell us where you're watching from, maybe where you're building. There we go. Tanya's got the program. Where you're building, yes. Where you're living.
All right. In San Antonio, moving to Spring Branch. We also have Lynn joining from San Antonio.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, thank y'all all for joining us. Keep jumping in here. Like I said, we're monitoring the chat. We are here always to talk about building a home on your land, which we're of course going to do. We do have a kind of a beautiful home to go through today.
We do.
Looking forward to that. From Plano to Marble Falls, that's a good place to go. Yeah. Obviously, you probably already know about the Bluebonnet Cafe there. I'm sure you've been there or going to go there. They actually have, Dawn, at the Bluebonnet Cafe, they're known for their breakfast. Okay, breakfast is great. They have a pie happy hour.
Pie happy hour?
Happy hour of pie in the afternoons. It's like 3 to 5 or something like that. So yeah, you're welcome, Bluebonnet Cafe, if anyone's watching. It's on 281 right there as you go through the main drag of town, very close to the river. Been there since the 30s, just like us. Big, beautiful granite tables. There's a line out the door, all kind of thing. They were forced to make a big business move during, obviously, COVID, as many of us were. Up until 2020, they only accepted cash.
Oh, wow.
And that changed. But yeah, there was many times we had to go to the ATM there that right in front of their door and to pay for lunch, breakfast, pie.
Nice. Yeah. I put Marble Falls back up there so everybody knew what we were talking about.
Beautiful. Yep.
And we got Runner Dude from California, originally from Dallas. When are you coming back?
Yeah, get back.
Arlington, Texas, building in Stephenville.
Pretty place.
And let's see, Cato Mills.
The only natural lake in the state of Texas.
Really?
Yep. Every other lake is man-made. And if you don't believe me, go to Wikipedia. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to change it on Wikipedia anyway. Doesn't matter.
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure Lake Caddo Mills is the only naturally occurring lake in the state of Texas. All the rest are man-made.
All right, folks, fact checked him. Let us know if he's wrong.
Fact check me. Yep. CNN's going to call.
All right.
Arlington. No, that's between Dallas and Fort Worth. I know that for sure.
Hoping to build eventually near Decatur, originally from Oklahoma.
Wise County, Texas. It's a pretty place.
Viewing from the Woodlands, ready to build in Texas Grand Ranch. All right.
Yes, I was just there earlier today. Running through some of our houses.
Lynn says you're right.
Look at that.
Lynn is now Eric's favorite person.
Thank you, Lynn. I love being validated. It's a big deal to me. And not only do you come here to learn about all things built on your land, a little Texas geography, a little Texas history, not going to hurt anybody. Tell your kids how important education is. That one back cover of the textbook that I read in 5th grade, boom, Lake Caddo Mills, done.
And Goldie from Stephenville.
Okay. Well, guys, keep jumping in. Tell us where you're coming from. And also, any questions you have about building on your land, site preparation, shopping for land, selling your existing home so you can build a home on your land. These are all things that we get asked about all the time. Financing the home, how are you going to do that? In the meantime, we're going to go through a really beautiful home that Dawn has prepared, a gorgeous presentation here. Dawn, where are we? Where are we? Where was this thing built? What's going on? What's going on here? The Parker.
So the Parker is actually one of our models in our Weatherford office, but it's a different elevation on that home than the one that this family chose to build. So we're going to go through one that somebody built that is actually the C elevation in Florence, Texas, in Williamson County.
Beautiful. Yeah. So way northern Williamson County, north of all the craziness that's happening. Liberty Hill, Georgetown, all that. But Yeah, and the Parker, obviously named for Parker County, which is where Weatherford is. Been a great performing home design of ours for a very, very, very long time. And I love the customizations that this particular customer did on this. So let's get into it. What's going on with the Parker C? What does it even mean?
All right. So this is the exterior design that this family chose. Our actual model in Weatherford is the D elevation, which is a little bit different than this one. But this family chose to go with the C, which really I personally also like the C a little bit better because it adds that big front porch that you don't really get with as part of the standard model elevation. So just very nice. It's got a combination of all the materials. You've got board and batten siding going on. You've got that lovely brick on the side, and it's with a stone wainscot on it as well. So
super attractive house, great front porch. One thing that kind of goes unsaid on this home is that 42-inch wide front door, which is really, really nice. So it's got a 3.5 foot wide, 8 foot tall front entry door. It's spectacular. Not only looking, but for moving big couches and furniture in and out.
Very convenient.
Highly recommend. Way more useful and secure, if I may add, than double front doors. But we'll do double front doors if that's an important to you. But you can accomplish a big, broad entry look by having just a wider than normal front door. So
good to know. Good tip.
Walk us through the stock floor plan there, Ms. Dantzler.
So this is kind of the standard floor plan as built. One of the things that I really like about this plan personally is that it's just the right combination of open and kind of closed off. So you've got that nice big family room, and it's got the great big opening into the kitchen, but the kitchen isn't in the middle of the family room. It's kind of closed off too. So while you're in the kitchen, you can still kind of be a part of what's going on, but you don't really have a clear view from the family room into, a sink of dirty dishes or all the cooking or any of that. Which those of you who have kids who are supposed to do the dishes, you understand what I'm talking about.
We were just having that conversation before we went live, about being very specific about when I tell my son, do the dishes that are in the sink. If there are dishes that are on the counter, not in the sinks, seemingly those are not included because they weren't typically in the sink. So
they're not in the sink.
Yeah. It's also one of the few plans we have that has a kitchen sink on, at least stock, on an exterior wall. We do have some customers from time to time that want to see out, like maybe they have a beautiful view out this way or where the kids are going to be playing or a swing or something like that. And so we don't have a lot of plans, at least on the stock plan, that have that exterior looking kitchen sink.
Correct. Yeah.
But like Don was saying, this is actually open here. So it's an art, and then this is a half wall. At this portion here. So you can see this on our website. Of course, we have Matterport of it, right, Don, a virtual tour.
Yes.
That you can get a better idea of that. But
we'll show you in pictures today too.
Yes, but you have to wait. You have to wait on those. Don't leave now and go to the Matterport. Stay here. You got to ask questions.
Yes. And true split bedrooms. So the secondary bedrooms are on the opposite side of the house from the master suite. And the master bath, comes standard with the separate shower and tub. It's got the dual vanities in it and just a very nice, large closet. I'm a big fan of this plan because, in my opinion, it has the space where you need this space.
Exactly. Yeah. And for 1,800 feet, we don't, this is a very well put together, well appointed plan, to have a walk-in closet that size, a walk-in pantry that size, a dining area that will fit an 8-person table very easily, a utility room with space for a freezer, all that in an 1,800 foot, that's a powerhouse. A powerhouse house.
Very good house with a great use of space. So I think drafting knocked it out of the park with this one. I really like it.
All right. So what did these great people in Florence, Texas, what did we do to make it their own?
Quite a bit. A combination of custom options along with some changes that they did on their own. So on the front porch, if you remember in that elevation, the picture that we showed to the standard, they were kind of the craftsman cedar style. This family decided they'd rather have the round composite porch posts so that they were the same color as the trim. The other thing they did in the master bath, they actually raised the second one of the sinks, so kind of his and her kind of height, just to make it a little bit higher.
I can appreciate that.
They are kindred spirits with me. Who my bathtub is a great storage place and dust collector personally. So they went for the very large walk-in closet, got rid of the separate tub, and just have the huge closet. Added on a 2-car garage, so attached. with the exit door being actually to the back porch, which they also expanded. So they made that larger and made it 9 feet deep. Yeah, so made that a lot bigger. Added in some double French doors from the master onto that porch. So the master has its own access into that space as well. And same thing on the back porch. Changed those columns to the composite so that they're round and match the trim color. And then did a lot of stuff to the dining space too. They decided, even though it is a really good size, you could fit an 8-foot table, they wanted it a little bit bigger. So went ahead and added some space there. So made it, usually it would kind of end where the pantry is. They pushed back beyond that. So that added some stuff and, had to do some lighting adjustments and window adjustments to make that work. And then in the kitchen, they changed out some of the cabinets for glass uppers so that it would be more of a display piece. We'll show you some of that.
Where you put your Rudy's cups, the Rudy's cups, or the cups from the A&M football game that you can see. Yep.
There you go.
I'm sure that $11 for a Coke.
Yes, I'm sure those are the exact family heirlooms that they want to display in that space. They also added the bonus room option that is available for this plan. So adding that nice upstairs space for separate play area or movie room, that kind of thing. And the last thing they did is on bedroom 3, they added a second window just to bring in some more natural light. So that's what we've got here.
Yeah, so it is pretty significantly different from the stock plan, which is great. I mean, we can absolutely do that. Just knowing that changes can beget changes, right? So like you mentioned, the windows and the lighting, and sometimes when you change something, that almost forces you to have to change other things, which as long as you're open to that, that's fine. But, significant difference going from just under 1,900 square feet to now we're almost 2,600 square feet. And of course, most of that's the bonus room.
Most of that's the upstairs space, yeah.
But yeah, this and then, I love what they did with the shower. That's just fantastic. So
yeah, and the shower is actually a custom option, so you can do that without messing with anything else.
That's right. Awesome. So now walk us through with this beautiful. It turned out. I have the balance that the garage provides of the right side of the house as well.
Yes, and I like how it's the same brick, so it gives you that symmetry going on. Just a beautiful exterior. Like we talked about, you've got the combination of brick and rock. The stone. So the brick comes in and acts as what's the exterior word for chair rail? What do we call that? Water table.
Water table. Yeah.
Yay! I remembered.
a soldier course here, and then a water table above it, and it actually does that. Right? It is flashed, and that's so when water's coming down that hardy plank, it is designed. It's an angled piece of masonry that sheds water. We don't want water going back towards the house. We want to get water away from the house.
Yes, drafting will be so impressed with me that I remember.
They would be. They are. Not would be. They are impressed. They're watching.
And then you've got the board and batten there, and I just think they picked out some great colors. And as you can see, this is obviously in climate zone 2 because we've got ridge venting on the roof.
Yep, there you go. So you can obviously see why they're doing it. I mean, you can see the spectacular trees. I see they already have some, outbuildings going on. I think they were living on the property again before.
They were. Yeah, they had a mobile home on site that they lived in throughout construction. So they have the patience of saints for doing that.
So for those of you who, maybe you are living or looking somewhere that has an existing dwelling of some sort, whether it's a mobile home or a frame house, that does still lend itself to obviously building a new one nearby. We have a lot of customers that do that. So certainly something that we can accommodate. And again, we have no issue with our customers seeing what's happening while they're living there before their eyes. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this is the back of the house. So you can see that giant back porch on there. It's going to be a great space for them. And you've got, 3 doors accessing it, one from the garage, one from the dining room, and the double French doors from the master.
Yeah, that's nice.
And you can see a little bit through the trees, the upper windows peeking through from that bonus space.
Yeah, and if y'all are seeing these, y'all tell us if these are. I always get arguments. I know they're not live oaks for sure. Are they post oaks? Are they white oaks? Like, walk us through. If you're a tree person, leaf person, and you can identify, help us out a little bit. I always get in arguments with folks after the fact of what kind of tree it was.
But definitely beautiful trees that I'm happy we were able to preserve for them.
Yeah, I mean, you can see them even kind of peeking through the front here. I mean, there's a lot of trees.
Yeah,
on this property. I can see why they wanted to put it exactly where they wanted to put it.
Yeah, it was very challenging for Kelsey to get really good pictures for us because there's a lot to get the whole house in and shoot it through the trees. But
Well,
beautiful.
she did a great job as always. So.
As always, yes. And just a closer shot of the back porch. As you can see, you've got the really huge windows coming in from the living room onto the space. This angle is from the end with the master, so you can see the double French doors going out, and then the access from that dining area on the end.
Beautiful, beautiful. Do you want to pause here for a second so we have any questions or any other folks jumping in and where they're from and what we're looking at here?
Absolutely. So we had Peggy joining us from Fort Worth.
Downtown Cowtown. I like it.
We have Julie asking us if we're noticing any price reductions in lumber cost yet.
Yeah, we have not yet, Julie. I know that futures came down. So there's a difference between futures or options trading and the actual contract prices of lumber, like what the actual contracts get locked in at. Our pricing is updated every month with our supplier. So we will find out here in about 8 days, 9 days, what the new pricing is. But a lot of what you'll see in the news, let's say that they'll say July lumber futures or September lumber futures are down, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, that's not an actual price that anyone's paying yet. A future is people on the Chicago Mercantile. Okay, so you got the New York Stock Exchange, you got the NASDAQ. Those are stock exchanges. You have the Chicago Mercantile, things like beef, lumber, mostly commodities that are traded there. Well, futures are people trading in imaginary what they think it's going to cost, what the future is. So they're betting with house money, by the way, not with real money. And so it is an indicator of what it might go to. In most normal years, it is a good indicator. It has not been a great indicator in the last 12 months, but it is an indicator that it could. Now, what does it mean? You say, oh, well, lumber futures were down 40%. Okay. Well, if they were up 300% from like a year ago, going down 40% doesn't really help a whole lot. It helps some. We'll take any relief we can get. But also knowing that most builders, including us, we never got up to what the peak of the lumber prices were. You couldn't chase the prices fast enough. No one would buy houses at the rate that those were increasing. So we weren't adjusting our prices at the rate that lumber was going up. No. Okay. Lumber is up now up about 260% from normal. Okay. Well, it's not going to come down to normal anytime, probably until what I'm reading 2023. So if anyone's watching this in 2023 and wants to comment on where it actually is, that'd be great. If this is still good content by then. But anyway, so I will say that there are indicators that it could come down. But again, when it's up at 260%, let's say that lumber went up 300%. Most builders went up about 20 to 27% total. I mean, you're still not talking about. We're not there yet. No. Yeah. No. But we'll take relief if we can get it. Great question, Julie. Thanks for watching. Yeah, thank you. We've got Will joining us from Klondike, Texas. Okay. Welcome, Will. Lynn is seconding that your history is very important. She wrote a Texas history curriculum. Awesome. Whoa. That's amazing. I'm super glad I was right then. Yes, we had a live fact checker. Chris is the Rouch family is building near Cameron, meeting their construction supervisor for the first time tomorrow. Awesome. That's great. That's fantastic. Yeah, we love Milam County, all the surrounding areas, big metropolises like Milano and Rockdale and Cameron and Gauze. Beautiful. Any good pie in that area? I'm sure there is. I know there's a couple of good fried chicken places that I've stopped at. Something about Highway 79 going through there. It is kind of the quietest time in my truck because there's like zero cell phone coverage for whatever reason. Nice. 79. When I take the drive between Georgetown and headed to Bryan, that stretch that goes through Milam County, very peaceful. I kind of like it. Oh, very good. Let's see. Kenneth has his pre-construction meeting this coming Thursday. How long after that does construction begin? All right, Kenneth, if I remember right, you're down in the Brazoria County area. So we are ramping up a little faster down there than we are in some of the others. But it is still usually a couple of weeks. It depends on what the availability date of the foundation contractor actually is. And your builder will have a much better idea of that whenever you meet with them on Thursday. Because theoretically, he would have spoken to the foundation contractor before then. But depending on what their backlog might be, that'll dictate that Other parts of the state, it's like 6 to 8 weeks. It's not the case down in Brazoria County. So
yeah, he also might want to put eyes on your land though to see how wet you are from all the recent rain. Make sure the soil's
like we got
good
rain
to go
yesterday and today. Last night it rained all night.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt and Lorraine Brown building in Elkhart, Texas, Williamson County.
This is not their first Facebook rodeo.
Not at all. Juanita just got released from corporate, waiting on pre-construction meetings sometime in July and ready to meet Chauncey here in Harper, Texas, Gillespie County to get things going. Awesome.
You're going to love him.
Very exciting.
You're going to love him.
You're going to love him. He's very popular. Will is asking, can we explain quickly how build to grade is done? Our site measured 42 inches drop at our site. Oh, Eric's going to draw.
Can I ever, Will? Thank you for asking.
I'm going to drop for a second.
Drawings. We're doing drawings. I could bust out the Surface, but by the time it boots up, we'll be done. So no offense, Microsoft. I'm sure it's a great product. All right. So we're going to build to the grade, which simply means your ground has a naturally occurring slope to it. We're going to start the slab a certain amount high above, depending on where your building's, usually between 11 and 14 inches above what we call natural ground here. Okay. So the slab will start there. We're going to build the slab level because that's what you're paying us to do. And if you are in fact 42 inches out of level on the footprint of the home, if we build to grade, that means depending on your, let's say you're 11 inches up, you're going to be about 53 inches out of the ground from the low point to the finished floor of the slab. Now, it's not the whole foundation, right? Because the whole slab's not 42 inches out of level. Usually probably just one corner of it or maybe one third of the home. It's not the entire house. So that's how it's done. If you're building to grade, it's typically in a, if you're in like a hill country type area, that's typically how it's left. We'll do some sand topping, like a stucco finish on the slab. And that's how you can drive through subdivisions in San Antonio and Austin and those areas and see just, 3 to 13 foot tall slabs exposed with a sand topping on it. If you're building in the Gulf Coast area, we'll probably bring in some fill and slope that out a little bit. But typically the hill country has enough grade where we don't have to establish positive drainage, obviously, particularly in a situation like this. So that's how build to grade is done, is you're literally building to the grade of the land. You're building a level slab on an unlevel piece of property. So hopefully that helps.
Great. I'm sure it did.
Those were my better pictures, Dawn. It really was.
It was. It's very good. I enjoyed it.
Appreciate it.
Juanita is saying she can't wait to be in her customized Palacios, asking if we can post more Palacios model pictures or videos from current or former clients. There aren't very many in our feed. We will post them as we get them. This isn't one just because of where it's built. We don't usually end up with a lot of pictures on it, but we will definitely follow yours closely because we know you're very excited about it. And as we find more, we'll get them posted for you.
Awesome.
Alina is in San Antonio. Nydia is joining us from Mexico,
Whoa,
so she's on
Nydia.
Vacation. Hi, Nydia. James is mentioning, I noticed that there is no sod laid. Does Tilson normally lay a certain square feet of sod?
So James, unless it's like a city or subdivision in which we're building that requires that to be done, we typically do not, because most of our customers don't really know yet exactly how they want their landscaping done, where they want their flower beds done, all that kind of stuff. So we don't. There are some cities and subdivisions that it is included in our pricing to put a certain square footage of sod around there, but the pricing, like what Dawn has got prepared on our website, that does not include any type of sod or anything like that. That does say that we couldn't, but it's not included in the base pricing.
Okay, awesome. Don is letting us know that he is joining us from his rice paddy again.
Hey, we got dirt down.
Awesome. Lena is saying she loves the flexibility to make changes to the floor plans. Thanks.
Yeah, that's all Dawn.
We love it. No, we love that too. No two Tilson homes are ever the same. So it's very exciting to see what our customers do with them. Misty is asking, for example, if I start my contract next month, what is the estimated time to complete a house during a time like this?
12 to 14 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does all that include? Because that sounds like a long time to be driving nails, Dawn. Why are we driving nails?
It does. We're not actually driving nails for 12 months. So most people are more familiar with kind of the subdivision, I'll pick on the big guy, the D.R. Horton model of building a home, where you don't know it, but D.R. Horton has been working on that property for probably 3, 4, 5, 12 years, going through all the approvals, getting everything cleared, getting your drainage squared away, putting in roads, putting in utilities, doing all of that like upfront prep work. They're also, Lena mentioned she likes how flexible our floor plans are. There's no flexibility with somebody like that. So you'll see their subdivision seemingly going up faster, but all that work that's done on the front end that you don't see, we're helping you go through with our process. So built into that time is all that upfront work of looking at your property. If it's undeveloped, getting it prepared for construction. So we're guiding you through what to clear, how to clear it, how to put in a construction drive, what is a culvert, how do I put in a culvert, all of those kinds of things to get your property prepared, while we're also doing all the home design. So looking at our floor plan, making the changes that you want, making sure you're happy with those changes, picking out all of your colors, doing all of those things that we're doing to get ready for your home to be built. And then we move on to construction, also getting permitting if you need it, and ACC approval and all of that. So there's a good 4 months of that work on average before we actually start building your house.
Yeah, and that we found actually is stretching out to about 6 months average, given some of these cities and counties that are not, they're way backed up, and some of them are still, even now, are still remote. So it's very hard to get things out of their system at times. So we're seeing 4 to 6 months of upfront
4 to 6 months
development, because that's really the key to that question. There is, we're not just building a house; we're getting the land entitled and ready for development. Then we're developing the lot, and then we're building a home. And then we're doing that in partnership with you, by the way, because it's your land. So you are an integral part in the built on your lot process. So and it's fun, actually. It's not stressful. I mean, it's stress at times, but it's a lot of fun to get to be part of that for our customers. I know it's very emotional for many of them. So anyway, that's really what it is, because it's more than just building.
Absolutely.
Manual J calculations to do, like Don was saying. You've got engineering, soil test, geotechnical investigation. We have to get res checks done and EPR, energy plan reviews. Like, all this stuff has to happen before we can go to construction. Then construction, which is taking about 8 months right now. Right.
All right.
Great question.
Great question. Courtney is in Canyon Lake, Texas, just signed her agreement on Sunday. Awesome.
Congratulations,
welcome to the
Courtney.
family.
Thanks for trusting
Thank
us.
you
That's awesome.
Yes. Megan is asking, how long does the inside of the homes usually take to finish? So I guess we're talking about once we're dried in. So once the windows are done. I'm not sure where
it can fit, because when I say inside, that means that's from what I refer to as MEP, mechanicals, electricals, and plumbing on. So basically the frame. That could be a while. If you're talking about like from sheetrock on, because you could typically talking about as much as 6 weeks from between when the frame is done to when the sheetrock's actually on, because you got electrical, HVAC, plumbing all have to go in. That has to be inspected. Insulation has to go in. It has to be inspected. And then you can cover it with sheetrock. And then you can start doing cabinets, countertops, interior doors, baseboards. So the inside of the home can take 4 to 6 months. Takes about maybe 2 to 3 months to get the outside done right now. And then inside, it's 4 to 6, depending on the complexity of the design and what all is going in that home.
Okay. Great question. All right, Kurt, I've heard on your previous videos that landowners should underbrush their land prior to meeting with a Tilson consultant. Is that accurate for Texas Grand Ranch? As I thought the Tilson rep of the model said that TGR homes are priced with a package and land clearing is included.
That's correct. Yeah,
that's correct. Yes. You are correct.
So it varies from subdivision to subdivision, location to location, county to county. But you are right. In Texas Grand Ranch, we include that already.
Yes, absolutely. Donna is asking if we build in Mills County, Texas.
So I was going to look that up. I know we have in the past, but I also know we had to make some concessions based on trade availability of late. Yes, we do still build in Mills County.
All right. And Misty is building in Harris County. She's the one who was asking about timing. So depending. So if you're in the city limits of Houston, we're not going to be able to help you out just because of the.
We can help you out.
we can help you sell your land in Houston and build some. We can give you that advice. Sell your land in the city and go to the unincorporated areas. You don't want to mess with the city.
And Harris County is really not that bad, as long as you're not in a floodplain. If any portion of your property is in a floodplain, there are some other steps we have to take. It's not impossible; it can still be done. But the county, for good reason, mostly as most recently as Hurricane Harvey, they get pretty persnickety. That's a word, by the way. That's a good Texas word, persnickety.
It is
About how things are done from a floodplain management and water mitigation perspective. So other than that, it's pretty simple in Harris County.
All right. Melissa, hello again. Do you know what the turnaround time is in Grimes County?
Yes, Melissa, we're telling everybody right now 12 to 14 months total, just because there's a lot of unpredictability out there and trade availability. Historically, Grimes County is a little bit easier because there's not a whole lot. It's got less to do with the county in a situation like that than it does with just trade partner availability.
Okay.
But yeah, Grimes County is very, very easy to work with. I mean, you can walk in and talk to the same people at the county office. And from septic permitting, there is no building permit, at least at present. But you do have to get the septic permitted. And other than that, they're super, super friendly to work with. Great people, easy about culverts, super simple.
Perfect. Gloria says we need to go eat at Brett's Barbecue. Outdoor, great food. Look them up on Facebook. All right, everybody. After this.
October. I'll go in October.
Good point. Good.
I need 2 cold fronts to go eat outside. I need it to be like 88 degrees in Texas. That takes 2 cold fronts.
All right.
You want to go view our house and finish that up?
Sure. Yeah. Right. Let's talk more about the house.
Keep putting your questions in. We will answer every single one of your questions, even if it takes dawn until midnight. We will answer them all.
Although if it's me by myself, you might not like the answers are not going to be as quality.
So yeah, ask your questions. Keep posting them in the chat. We cannot wait to help. Anything you want to know. Life advice. How do you raise kids? I mean, jury's out on ours. They're still pretty young, but
how do you not raise kids? Well, I have an 18.
We can help you with that.
Mine's a full-grown human.
That's true.
I'm a full-grown human.
Yep.
We're gonna launch to college.
Graduated.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Scary. I'll let you know how that goes.
All right. So.
All right.
Let us go from here inside. Dawn, where are we?
This is the family room. So you can see what we were talking about with kind of how you can see into the kitchen, but it's not. It's that good combination of open and closed. So you've got that big arched opening into the kitchen area and that half wall that we were talking about before. So you can see what's going on in those areas, but it's still a little bit closed off as well. So it's a good combination. And you can see the big, beautiful windows in the back that give you that great view and bring in lots of natural light through there. So just a great space. And that hallway that you're seeing kind of towards there, that's the hallway leading into the secondary bedrooms, which is also where the utility space is.
Yep. So you got a little storage closet here for linens and things like that for the spare bedrooms, and big utility rooms. And traditionally, the garage is out this door, but we located a different spot on this house, which we can do wherever. So
absolutely. So here's your view of the kitchen. So you can see where they added those glass uppers, and they did choose to go with a farmhouse sink, and very, very classic. They went with the white quartz countertops and white cabinetry in here, just beautiful.
Very nice.
And I also like the island in the Parker is unique. It's got a little bit more dimension and shape to it.
Yeah, it's like a trapezoid shape, and it actually has a lot of space. You can't put a sink in it the way it is, because you can't put a sink. There's not enough space for a dishwasher. There's something to think about. So you can put a sink in it, but your dishwasher is still located somewhere else. But you can we have some options where you can put the sink in the island.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Very nice. And then this is the view from that oversized dining room that they added in the back. That little kind of half wall that you're seeing, that's the back of their pantry, where that is over there. But you can see that it's a big, giant space, and so large. We needed two light fixtures to make sure that it was all properly lit up. And then you can see kind of the front side of that island that we were talking about that has the unique shape to it.
Yep, and no dirty dishes to be seen because they're
Yeah,
all over
can't see
here.
them. Can't see them. It's very important. And then this is a stairway leading up to that upstairs bonus space. They chose to bring the same vinyl plank flooring that they chose throughout the home, put that on the stairs as well, to get that to match. And this is the upstairs bonus space. So nice big room. You can see the kind of half windows that we were talking about on the back of the house. It brings in lots of light, but a really good space to just keep. If you've got kiddos who are loud, or you're watching a game and you're loud, you can keep them away from everybody else, but just good room to kind of kick back and relax.
Yeah, it's a great space. And pretty similar, if you want to go view this, kind of to the canyon, very similar size.
Yeah, very similar size-wise to the canyon.
Want to go check that out, you can do that.
And this is the master bedroom. So you can see in this home, they have kind of elevated ceilings that come as part of the plan. And then they added those French doors that go on to the back porch there. So very good sized room. And like with all of our bedrooms, the ceiling fan is included.
Very cool.
And here's the master bathroom. Super clean. Love it. So they do have, you can kind of glimpse through the mirror that they've got the really oversized walk-in shower in there. And you've got the raised cabinet on the one side, the raised sink, raised vanity. And you've got the space in between for a stool if you want that to kind of have a makeup vanity table going on. And, just the massive closet. Just great storage space. And
was it Kelsey that went through and did all these colors?
Yes, Kelsey went through and put in all of the color selections for everybody, because we know everybody is always very interested in that. So she went ahead and included those. And this is just a glimpse to kind of show how efficient this plan is. This is the hallway. So you can see this is connecting to those secondary bedrooms and the bathroom. So good flow.
Take it from your back is to the kitchen a little bit. Family room's over here. There's your bathroom. There's one bedroom. There's the other one. Utility room's on the left over here. So
yes,
it's a really versatile plan.
It is. And these are those secondary bedrooms that are included. They do have a little bit of a different ceiling height. One of them is at 9 feet. The other one's at 8 feet. But beautiful spaces, good size.
Yeah. And that also varies by elevation. I believe in the model, it's like the front bedroom's an 11-foot ceiling. So we'll go. I do have the plans pulled up because someone did ask about ceiling height. So I'm ready for that.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
We've
and in the model elevation, that window that I talked about earlier that they added in the bedroom that's got the deer in the corner here, they added that second window that actually is on the model elevation just because of the differences in code and stuff with that.
That's right.
And this is the secondary bathroom, so plenty of space and very pretty and gorgeous.
Very clean.
Very clean.
Okay, so more questions and comments have popped up, Dawn. Let's go.
We do. We have more questions. All righty. Lena is asking about military discounts.
Oh, great! I'm glad you asked, Lena, and obviously thank you or your family for your service.
Absolutely.
We used to do. We've done different things, and of course, surveyed hundreds of veterans. And what we landed on doing was we support an organization called Operation Finally Home. And so it starts to get to where if you give veteran discounts, then you do military and police discounts, then you do first responders, then you do, why not teachers? And then why not marketing directors? I don't understand. Like, who doesn't get it? What about realtors? So what we want to do instead of cheapen the service that was done, we wanted to be able to make a big impact in someone's life in a large way. So what Operation Finally Home does is their organization partners with builders and builds mortgage-free homes all over the country. They did start here in Texas. They started actually in the Bay Area in the Greater Houston Builders Association. Technically, it was the Bay Area Builders Association, which was part of Greater Houston. But anyway, started there, and so we've been blessed enough to where we've done, I think, 6 projects with them. They started in 2005, and we kind of been able to do one every other year. There are about 6 or 7 projects and partner with them and actually impact and change someone's life. So they build them for wounded veterans, and I think actually in some places first responders. But
they just added first responders.
Yeah, that were wounded pretty badly in battle. are in the line of duty, and
Mhm.
they built that family a mortgage-free home. And that's an application process, and they do all the vetting. They have, retired military members on their board of directors. They have generals on their board of directors. So we're very, very comfortable partnering with them, make sure that the vetting process is proper, and that our commitment to our service men and women is a big impact in a large way. And that we've got feedback from veterans that they would prefer that. So that's what we do when we can. Right now, it's about every other year we've been able to do that.
Awesome. And let's see. Melissa's asking if we build any homes in Kings Oak going towards Iola.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Lots of homes out there in King Oaks. I know of probably 8 or 10 that we've done in there, and we've sold them out of many offices, but primarily out of our Bryan location and out of our Huntsville location, because it's right there on Highway 30 between the two. And yes, you'll be an Iola Bulldog.
Awesome.
Right outside of Beedice, a suburb of Anderson and Grimes County. Big metropolises.
Perfect. Gloria's clarifying for everybody that Brett's is in Rockdale. So that's where you would go check that.
Got it.
Don't apologize for getting off topic. We rarely stay on ourselves.
Off topic. If it's involved barbecue, pies, things like it is not off topic.
Yes. Totally food, college football, everything. Yep. Go for it. For it.
Those are fair topics.
Those are fair topics. And then Dawn wanted to give a shout out to the warranty department. Spoke to them this morning and says they're continuing to take great care of her even after they moved in last year. Wonderful. Glad to hear that. We will pass that along.
You, Dawn. And that's something we don't give them enough glory, honestly. But it's a big part of what you're buying when you enter into a partnership with Tilson Homes to build your home. It's not just the day you go to closing title company. That's a great culmination of everything that's happened, all you've worked towards, but we don't disappear afterwards, which is a good thing for you. You want someone to service that thing after it's finished. And the decisions of how we take care of our customers in customer care and warranty drives a lot of our process of why we do a lot of the things that we do. And more importantly, why we won't do a lot of things that we won't do. Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up, Dawn. And thank you for shouting out to those unsung heroes where I got my start. It was in warranty.
Awesome. Will is thanking you for the explanation of the out of grade. And is all of that material concrete? And would his slab in the picture that you drew be 53-inch thick?
So no, actually it's not all concrete. It's concrete and fill, but that exterior beam, which is going to be a 12-inch wide beam. So we'll go back to our picture here. We got our slab. This goes down into the ground, whatever the engineer calls for. And so this is this dotted line portion. You can see that would be concrete. And so there's going to be beams. They're going to be dug more squarely and cleanly than Eric's doing these. But so this portion here would be concrete. And so it's going to be more than 53 inches. This is actually going to be, because all you're seeing is 53 that was above the ground, right? It may go another 12 to 14 inches into the ground. So this exterior beam on the low grade of the property may be 65 inches tall and 12 inches wide. So, I mean, my wife's 5'2". That's 62 inches. So she'll say she's 5'3.5". She's not 5'3.5". But so truly, she could stand in this beam and you could not see the top of her head. So that's a large amount of concrete is the point, but it's not solid. This would be fill. Depending on where you are, that could be bank sand, that could be select fill, that could be sandbags, actually. And then a lot of times in the hill country, it is sandbags. So truly just bags filled with sand, but some way to fill all this in. And this is your 4-inch cap of concrete up here. And these are your interior and exterior beams running in both directions on the slab. But overall, it would be whatever you are exposed out of the ground plus whatever the beam depth is that the engineers called for.
Okay, great. Awesome. So James is saying, assuming irrigation systems are not included, it's the first time for him building on his own land. Do many customers ask about irrigation?
So James, not a lot do. You are correct. It's not included, except like our friend can tell us in Texas Grand Ranch, it is. A certain amount, but yeah, most of our customers aren't going to irrigate the full acre, 2 acres, 22 acres. Like this house we're looking at 23 acres, in Williamson County. And again, most folks don't know exactly how they want that laid out yet. So we don't get a whole lot into irrigation, except with the exception of a few subdivisions that we actually do. And when that's done, though, we help with the layout. We have landscapers that have already kind of laid it out, but it's pretty rare that we get into doing irrigation for most of our. 91% of what we build is rural, so not a lot of irrigating going on. My recommendation is, and most good landscapers will tell you this too, is go with what's natural in the area, and you need to irrigate very, very little. Xeriscape is which is just a fancy word for using cactus and rocks that don't need water. That's minimizing that, but kind of go through what's native to the area. The irrigation comes into play, and again, these master plan communities where you go into a place like San Antonio or Austin where they don't get a lot of rainfall, and you'll see they'll build these beautiful subdivisions and put sod yards down in every single, there was no sod there. God did not put sod in Bexar County and Travis County. It's not sod, but for whatever reason, we bring in St. Augustine or we bring in Bermuda sod, and you got to have water to keep it alive. Go with what's there, and you won't have to water it. So anyway, off my soapbox.
Good to know.
Thank you for asking, though, James.
Yeah, thanks, James. Dana's saying her husband and she signed their contract yesterday out of the Bernie office for the Angelina. Whoa. Shout out to Leah for being so patient with her. She can't wait to get started. That's awesome. We will pass that along. Yeah,
Leah's amazing. So thank you for trusting us, Dana. Thanks for going out there.
And Leah literally grew up at Tilson.
It's true.
Her dad's been working for us for a long time. So.
Yep.
So Anne is asking if we have any Granberries officially under construction yet. I believe we do, but I will check for sure and let you know after this. But I'm pretty sure because we'd sold quite a few that should be about there. Let's see. James is asking if we can explain more about the driveway culvert needed. Never built on his own land before. Yeah. He's not even sure of who to hire to do all that. There isn't really a ditch, but a little dip off of the road.
All right. So it's going to depend, James, on where you're building. A culvert may or may not be required. Well, I know we do actually have an entire video on that as well. I'm not going to defer your question. I want to answer your question. But if there's more that you need, maybe Kelsey or Don or so I can drop a link to our site preparation video, and there's a little more about that there. But for those of you watching, you got the crown of a road, and then you typically have, like he's saying, a little dip, and then your land. Okay, well, depending on how deep this dip is, here's the crown of the road. You might have to install a pipe because the ditch is here for a reason. It's there to let water run down here. To do a driveway, you meant to do like rock or clay or concrete or asphalt or whatever, you can't dam up this ditch, right? It's important that water be able to run down here. The county is going to require that, or subdivision, or wherever you're building, city. And so they have certain dimensions that they require based on where you are, which is why we got to get with the county pretty early on and say, hey, what's my 911 address? You usually have to put a flag out there. It takes them 2 or 3 days. They drive out there. They tell you, okay, and you tell them your 911 address, or they tell you, they assign you what the address is. Then you call whatever precinct that you're in, tell them your address, and they'll say, okay, your property requires an 18-inch diameter culvert or a 24-inch diameter culvert, or they may come out and say, you don't need a culvert at all. We can just cross over it. So it's really the county's call. And when it's not the county's call, which is pretty rare, our land preparation specialist will make a call. They're like, hey, our trucks may high center coming across this. It'd really be better off to have a culvert. Or they may say, no, this is fine. We can come right across here. And usually a good gauge, James, is kind of look up and down the road. If there are any other humans, is there civilization, look up and down and see what the neighbors have had to do. And that's typically a pretty good indicator of what we're going to need to do on your piece of property. But typically the county dictates what size this is. And so they'll tell you what size. You can typically do whatever length you want to, with the exception of on state highways. There's very strict culvert regulations on state highways. So all farm to market roads, State Highway 21, State Highway 71. Certainly if it's like an interstate feeder road, that's going to be TxDOT, DOT, Department of Transportation. But the county will determine that. And then Sometimes the county installs it. Sometimes we can install it. Sometimes we can give you a bid to have our dirt contractor procure it and install it for you. But and you want that road obviously to be crowned, and that's why that ditch is there, so that when it does rain, water doesn't build up on the top of the road. That is, A, it's unsafe to drive on. Use your hydroplane, but B, that road slopes one way or the other, going or coming, and water will run across. It'll cut that road up. It'll tear the road to pieces. So that's why it's crowned like that, so the water will run off of it into the ditches and then go. But we got to get away across that ditch. So that's how the culvert works. It allows water to pass through. It's a pipe. It allows water to pass through, even though you have a driveway over top of it.
Awesome. Thank you. It's a great question.
I'm going to do lots of drawings today. This is
I feel
like Bob Ross. I feel like Bob Ross. Without the hair, but I feel like Bob Ross.
We could get you the wig.
I could totally do a wig.
Yeah. Charlotte is asking if we've updated our floor tile colors in the last 6 months. She loved the tile in the Frio, but we did not have any tile with that rust color that was similar to it. So I know they did bring in some new tiles. I don't know exactly if what you're looking for is in it, but there are some new tile samples that have come in.
Yeah, and also some of them have been discontinued. I can guarantee you.
Yes. Yeah, there's definitely been some deletions or some temporarily, we're not going to make these anymore just because of situations. But yeah, go check it out. Linda is asking if we'll be updating the website so the rock wall floor plan can be modified with the custom options. Yes, actually. That is in development right now. They're just doing some final tweaks to make sure that everything appears exactly as it should. So we should be launching those in the next couple months. Couple weeks. Should be soon. That you'll be able to see.
And you shall receive.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm actually excited. I did not realize quite how versatile that plan was. So I am really excited to see those. I didn't realize that kind of storage garage could change into as many things as it can with the custom options. So.
Oh, yes. Anything.
All right. Tracy is just letting everybody know that the Hayes County Permitting Office is taking their sweet time and to be patient. And she loves watching all of these videos. Thank you, Tracy. We appreciate the advice and you watching. And then Anne was asking about ceiling height. I know you said you had.
I did. I brought the plan up so that I could tell you that. I want to get it right in this house. I kind of knew what they were in the model home. So the family room, still has a 10-foot ceiling, and that's in pretty well all the elevations of this home. Family room has a 10-foot ceiling. The master bedroom typically has a 10-foot ceiling. It slopes up to 10 feet. Dining and kitchen area is all 9-foot ceiling in this home. Also, the back porch is a 9-foot ceiling. And then your front corner bedroom 3 is 8 foot. Usually your master bath in this home is a 10-foot ceiling in this elevation. And the closet is 8. The front bedroom does vary depending on the elevation. So it's anywhere, it's going to be at least a 9 up to 11-foot ceiling, I believe, depending on which elevation or front of the home that you select. You'll notice on the front of the home, that bedroom kind of moves up and down with how the window configuration is. So that's going to dictate how tall that ceiling is in there.
Okay, perfect. All righty. And Katya is saying we're signing our final plans on Sunday to build our Breckenridge in Kerr County. So excited. Thanks for all the Facebook Lives. They've been super informative and helpful in our process. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for trusting us. And thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
Let's see. Courtney is asking if we have any pictures of anyone who has done the mother-in-law suite in the San Jacinto. She added that on for her house. Yes, I believe we actually showed one in the live, if I'm not mistaken. But we will look for you. I can see you're on Facebook, so I'll circle back with a link to those pictures for you. Megan is building in Victoria County. They have the electrical and AC ran windows in. Next step is to start installation after the roof inspection. Awesome.
Very cool.
That's
Thanks for
great.
sharing.
Joe loves this house, planning to build in Poolville.
Joe's been watching a while. Joe Barry's been.
He has.
Yeah.
He has.
Cool.
Stacy is asking what our opinion is on outdoor tile under the patio. Is that something that we offer?
So we've done it. My opinion is it gets slick, and not necessarily right when it's installed. The grout helps, but over time, because it's under shade and you get a lot of sun, mildew can build up if it's not cleaned regularly. And if my kids aren't going to clean it, it's not going to get cleaned. So it's an option, but it's not something done very, very frequently. I mean, typically we see more just concrete. See a lot of area rugs, actually a lot of outdoor rugs. People like outdoor rugs because if they get tired of the color, they can roll it up and throw it away and change it.
Yeah.
Or it can be pressure washed. My wife pressure washed our outdoor rug this spring.
Go, Rachel.
Who cares? It's outside, right? Yeah. Like, so
Yeah.
she got out there with a pressure washer and it was like brand new. But I do know that if you go with a tile color, obviously that's the color that's going to be. But it's not something we get a lot of requests on. And it does take a specific type of installation. You can't do it the same way you do it inside. So definitely put some thought into that. What kind of thin set is used and the application process. So.
Okay. Perfect. Dana is asking if she is able to put a different flooring that we don't have. She wants Core-Tech LVP. She was told if Shaw flooring sold, that we could possibly do it. I'm waiting on a price inquiry.
So typically, and you're doing it the right way, Dana. We really like to try and go through one of our providers just because we can hold them accountable to delivery schedules and warranty, and you saw how important that was a while ago.
Yeah.
And if it's something that we can get through our flooring supplier, that's the best way to do it. And that's exactly what we do. We do an inquiry. The sales consultant sends an inquiry to what we call our cost management department, but they're kind of our procurement guys. So Chris, who y'all saw maybe a couple, my brother, Justin Rich, their team, they have a team of an army of people actually that work really, really hard on making sure that you guys have cutting edge stuff to select from and that we can actually get it. So having something to look at, it's really, really cool. Being able to actually get that product and get it delivered and installed in Timbuktu, Texas is a different challenge. So
yes, absolutely. Great question. All right. Amy is asking if it's possible to increase the size of the pantry in the Angelina so it can fit a deep freeze.
Well, I need to go look at the Angelina.
Yeah.
It's one of those new plans for me. I'm dating myself a little bit. I'm sorry. I think there might be more plans out of the portfolio that I know than in, but
I'm trying to pull it up too.
I think, let me phrase that.
Okay, so right now the freezer space is in the utility room, which is directly adjacent to the pantry. So they might be able to just
just flip it around.
Scoot back. Yeah. If you're fine with giving up that utility room space, you could do that.
You could do that for sure. And what was the other thing she had? Was that the only thing that was?
That was it. Can we increase the size of the pantry? So if you don't mind taking like I said, there's built-in pantry space. Freezer space in the utility that is right against the pantry wall. So we could just push that back. Ask your design consultant. They can work that out for you. Lorenzi's asking, my property will be paid off in August this year. Should I wait to build for next year or start the process now?
You can start the process. Yeah, your land does not have to be paid off, Lorenzi, to start the process. Like we've been telling people, it's 12 to 14 months right now. So you would just keep making that land payment and it will be done in August anyway. So you're talking like 2 more payments. So congratulations, by the way. Fantastic.
That's awesome.
You do not have to wait to start that process. I don't even know that it would even be counted against you from a debt perspective. I'm not a RMLS. I'm not a NMLS number. I'm not a licensed mortgage broker, but you don't need to wait. There's no reason to wait. We're not going to be starting construction, which means you won't be closing on the home until the house is completely finished. You won't have a land payment. So there's no reason to wait till your land's paid off. Okay,
perfect. Runner Dude is asking, are there pull down stairs for attic access?
There are, Runner Dude, and they're quite spectacular, actually.
They are very nice.
There's an Eric on the Road video on YouTube. I see you're on YouTube. If you go to the playlist that Don's prepared, it's Eric on the Road. There's one where I'm in the driftwood. I think I actually pulled them down, but they are heavy duty. It's not the old rickety wooden ones you see. They're 350 pound rated. They have about a 2.25 inch thick door on them. So we because of the energy codes that we have to build to, we actually insulate them just like an exterior door. So it's got weather stripping and R10 insulation in the actual attic access. And so then it has a big pull down staircase coming out of that. Most of them are aluminum. There are a few still heavy duty wooden ones. Most of them are aluminum.
Okay, perfect. Melissa is asking if there are any plans to have any modern or contemporary plans and models in the future. So not really.
Need, Melissa.
Yeah.
We are we're a rural country kind of people for the most part. I mean, we get a little bit contemporary by our customer standards, but as far as what broadly speaking, I would define architecturally as modern or contemporary, that's really just not who we are. We try to design homes that not only obviously appeal to our core customer base and prospects that are looking for that kind of lifestyle, your farmhouse style, your ranch style, but also ones that our trade partners are accustomed to executing on. So there's kind of a balance there to make sure, we could technically design anything. I mean, our drafting department, you saw James a couple weeks ago. I mean, we can draw anything in spectacular fashion. Can it be executed out in the field to a high level that we demand by our usual trade partners? And they're used to building homes a certain way, which is kind of more traditional ranch style, farmhouse style. And so that's really our comfort zone. And we try to stick with that because it's what we do best.
Absolutely.
A very long no.
Yes. But it's a no with a reason. So it's a better no.
But thank you for asking, Melissa.
Yes. Gloria is asking on the LaSalle B, can the garage be converted to a 2-bedroom small house?
I mean, it can, but it's just not a garage anymore. So if someone just making it living area, yes. It's not really ideally set up for that from a window placement standpoint, but it could be. Or you could also build a casita, which we offer. But I mean, you can convert the garage to anything, but then just be prepared that you're making it living area. It's no longer the price of a garage. It's going to be the price of adding, I think in that case, over 800 square feet of living area to that home. So it's going to be the price of a 2-bedroom house.
And so, go with the casita. Build a separate 2-bedroom house.
Yeah.
All right. Tanya is asking, can we substitute the 60-inch garden tub to a 72-inch one? My husband is 6'2".
We can, but please don't have your husband lay down in the tub while it's full, because it's not doesn't end well. Unless you have plans, Tanya. But yeah, no, it's we have a 72.
And if you have those plans, make a new one because it's on video now.
Yeah, we can go to a 6-foot tub. So just knowing that we have to accommodate the space somewhere. So typically they butt up to either a bedroom or a closet or both. So we'll need to take that foot out of somewhere. So we'll need to take it either out of the closet, is where we typically get it from, or out of the bedroom, which we would prefer. You'd kind of prefer probably not to do that, but it can.
All right, makes sense. Emily is sharing that her Victoria E is looking gorgeous. Builder Logan deserves a huge shout out. Awesome. We will let him know. And send us pictures. I want to see a Victoria. I haven't seen one yet.
Do this.
And then Lorenzi is asking if Tilson does asphalt driveways.
We really don't. There's not really a cost savings to it, we found, between that and concrete. And it does not last or wear as well as concrete. So if we do one, we typically like to do either crushed rock, crushed rock or recycled crushed concrete, crushed limestone, or concrete.
Now, there is an exception for our Texas Grand Ranch friend who is watching, because there is a certain amount of footage of driveway that has to be asphalt to tie into the road per Huntsville. So we do asphalt for that portion in Texas Grand Ranch.
That's right. And we pay handsomely for it. It's the apron of the driveway. That's a great point, Dawn. It has to meet where it meets the asphalt. They want it to be asphalt.
Yes.
Which is silly, but we play ball.
Yes. Because we have to. So Kurt is saying, it looks like the bonus room option is always on the second floor. I was hoping to keep our new build a true 1-story ranch, but want a media room. Any reason the bonus room option isn't offered on the main floor? We do have some that are. I mean, the Preston is one that comes to mind that is offered on the first floor. But the biggest reason is full cost perspective, Kurt. I mean, this totally transparent with you. I mean, it costs more money to go out than it does to go up, provided that the foundation and the roof is already in place. So that's the biggest reason why is most people are doing a bonus room. It's a room they don't intend to use very often. Maybe just when the grandkids are over or something like that. So they don't want to pay full on, all the money that would cost to add that amount, 800 square feet of space onto the first floor. But if you're just looking to do something smaller, like a 17 by, 14 foot media type room, there are plans that lend themselves to do that. The Preston does come to mind to do that. So great question. Perfect. Runner G has a question on insulation. Do we insulate both the attic floor space and the rafter space immediately underneath the roof? I know you said the attic space doesn't get hot.
Well, that's relative, Runner. Maybe if you are truly a runner dude, you're probably in good shape. You probably wouldn't phase you. but you run in California, which is a different animal than running in Texas. I was in Bernie last week and I took off running because it was like 68 and 30%.
Was someone chasing you?
Look, the humidity was so low and the weather was so nice that I'm like, I don't know when the last time I ran this far. I also can't tell you the next time I'll run that far. It'll be a long time. But so maybe the heat doesn't phase you. It's not comfortable in the attics, okay? But so two different types. The broad answer is, or short answer is no. We don't do both. If it is climate zone 2, if we're doing bat and blown insulation, the floor of the attic, so just above the ceiling of the home, just above here, where above my head, that's going to be R38 attic insulation, which is about 12 inches thick. Now, if it is spray foam, it's going to be your attic will be cooler, and we are going to insulate the rafters. So if you insulate the rafters, you don't have to insulate the floor because you're stopping the heat at that point up there. You're creating the barrier higher up. So you need to do one or the other. I don't know any applications where you would need to do both, other than if an insulation company was selling you insulation, told you need to do both, perhaps. But there's no energy gain, really, not substantive energy gain from doing both. So if you're going to do spray foam, you spray foam the rafters. If you're doing blown in, you blow it in it has to be on a flat surface. And on sloped ceilings, which you can't see this, but I have a sloped ceiling here that I'm looking at, that has to be bats stapled to that. So it doesn't, gravity has this thing where it makes things go down. And so you want to make sure that it's not pulling that blown insulation down to the soffit.
And now in that spray foam sense, your attic is not going to be as hot as it would be otherwise. It's much closer to the actual temperature of the house. Yeah,
it's a lot closer. I mean, it doesn't get like a whole lot over. Usually 12 to 15 degrees higher than it is in the house. So if your house is 75, it may be 85, 87 in the attic, which is, I mean,
very nice.
There, but I can do some Christmas decorations in that.
Awesome. Tiffany actually has a question about spray foam. If she opts for spray foam, is the price given for the walls in the attic or just the attic?
Well, typically when we do it, Tiffany, it's going to be the whole house. So it's because we're talking about the real advantage to spray foam is not in the insulation value. It's not in the R value. In fact, here's a mind-blowing thing of the day, besides the Lake Caddo Mills. The other mind-blowing thing of the day is it's actually lower R value. Spray foam has a lower R value than blown and bat insulation. What it has that blown and bat does not have is it seals up the home way better. So you don't have all the air changes per hour. You're not losing that air that you're paying to cool most of the time here in Texas, or heat some of the time. So when we do it, we're trying to enclose and insulate and foam in the entire building envelope. So that's going to be the walls and the attic. We're doing the whole shoot and match because that's really where you get the benefits of spray foam insulation. There's no real benefit to doing the walls or the attic. You might as well just pick and just do bat insulation and save a little bit of money if you can, if the energy code will allow for you to. Otherwise, you're much better. If you're going to spend the money, you're far better off to do the walls and ceilings.
Yeah, and it's actually not just the insulation itself. It includes the price of putting in the dehumidifier because when you are that tight, we have to actually take water out of your house another way because your AC is not going to be able to do it on its own.
Yeah. Great point.
Awesome. All right. And then Melissa is asking if a bonus room requires a second AC. And just so everybody knows, this is the last question I see. So start typing if you still have any burning questions.
Yeah, I think there's two more from Facebook that I can see from Tiffany. But anyway, so, so traditionally, yes. It's either going to require an additional AC or it's going to require for us to zone a single AC system. So that's kind of how it is in our Canyon model, for instance. The Canyon model home in Bryan, and again, it's driven a lot by where it is. What ultimately will decide that, Melissa, is the manual J calculation. So we send, after the home is staked and the plans are done, we send all of that information to an HVAC, a third-party design contractor, and they put all of this data in, wall area, ceiling heights, floor, square footage of flooring area, square footage of glazing or glass on the house, what direction the home is facing, what zip code it's in, what the average temperature, high and low, is going to be. And then it spits out not only how many cubic feet per minute each room is going to need to do it to perform, to get it to the right temperature, but, what size AC unit, if it needs to be zoned, if it's multiple, what model number that the AC and the heater need to be. I mean, it's very, very granular. But traditionally speaking, if you add that much living, at 800, 900 square feet living area above, you're going to at least need to zone one of the units into two zones, or add an additional unit. And the way the Canyon model is done is it has two units. One controls a portion of the downstairs of the home, like the main area of the house. And the other one controls like the master bedroom area of the house and the upstairs, but they're on two different zones. So you don't have the same temperature up and down, but there's two different thermostats, but one unit.
Okay.
We have a video on that as well.
We do. Yes, we do. So Tiffany said, thank you for the answer. And a runner dude is saying that Parker that we did the presentation on is beautiful. Thank you.
Agreed. Thanks.
Yep. Tony did a great job building that one. And then Tanya's sharing, we're building the Preston modified to approximately 3,100 square feet. Well, we need 2 ACs for zone 2. I think she's in Spring Branch.
Yeah, that's crystal ball kind of stuff these days, Tanya. The manual J, like I know you asked your question before I said it, but the manual J will ultimately decide how many AC units. I have seen it in some areas where it doesn't have to have 2. So it's pretty impressive what we're able to do these days with the higher efficiency AC units and the insulation packages that we're doing. But ultimately, the manual J will drive that. So be sure you ask your sales consultant if that's something that's important to you.
Okay, perfect. And then Kurt is saying we sold him on the upstairs bonus media room. Are there ways to do a bit of extra soundproofing for that space?
There are, Kurt. Yeah, there are some things that can be done. There's some different flooring materials that can be used, like an underlayment on the floor. There's also this thing called a paddle. So if you take the paddle and you'll have it meet the kid's backside if they're being too loud, it will actually it will dampen. I mean, there's a little bit of noise immediately following the paddling, but then shortly thereafter the noise stops. It's magic. But anyway, there are wall things that can be done. I don't call anything soundproof, but there are some sound deadening measures that can be done. We would need to do a price inquiry through cost management. We want to reach out to our insulation folks and probably our lumber folks to see what products are out there. But there are some products out there that can help mitigate some of the sound. But you got kids up there that are imitating WWE flying off of the couch. I'm the middle of 3 boys. Okay, so there ain't no soundproofing. It's not a thing. But the paddle is an effective soundproofing tool.
His kids are fine, folks. They're great.
My kids are great. It was me growing up.
Awesome.
It was not good. No, we were not good kids. We destroyed lots of things in our Tilson home growing up. And we learned how to patch sheetrock at a very young age.
There you go. As long as you repair your own damage, you're good. Matthew is asking, can fill dirt from my property be used to build up the house pad?
So Matthew, it depends on what material is out there. So without knowing exactly what's out there, I can't say yes for sure. But in many cases, yes, we were able to use fill from on site, as long as you don't mind having a depression somewhere, a low spot. Because we get that material from somewhere to bring it to the house site where we brought it from is going to be now depressed. Like, it's going to be sad. It's going to be sad. It's going to be lower for sure. But yeah, it's not impossible. But there are some materials that we just flat out can't use, and just until we get good eyes on it, I can't say for sure. But it is a possibility, yes, that we can. Okay,
great question. And that is all I see.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us today. We hope you got stuff out of this. Thank you, Dawn, for preparing this. It's a great job.
Absolutely.
And Kelsey, thank you, Kelsey, Kelsey and Nick monitoring the chat for us too. So obviously, we still have all of our locations rocking and rolling. It's summertime now. They'd love to see you guys. We do recommend an appointment, of course, there to make sure we get the quality time spent with you. You don't waste your time. You want to be sure if you drive all that way, you talk to one of them. So reach out to our online sales team. You can get a hold of any of them. We are open 7 days a week at all of our locations, including our #1 location, which is the website, award-winning website. You might know that. But anyway, you got a website. We got an Instagram page. We got a Facebook page that these get posted to shortly hereafter. We have a YouTube channel that Dawn and her team have done buku content. And that is a finite term. Oh, that's very nice.
We love you too, Linda.
We love you.
Thanks for watching.
And so we hope these videos are informative to you. If they are, let us know. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to that. You'll get updated whenever we post new videos, because we don't just post these videos. There's other videos that Dawn puts on there from time to time that are like way informative. So
yeah, if you're wondering what happens at your site evaluation meeting, that one went live.
That one went live. Yeah, that went live. So go subscribe to those, stay informed. As always, we believe an informed customer is the best type of customer. We're very transparent, as you can tell. We got nothing to hide. We put all of our stuff out there for you guys and all prospects out there looking to build on their land to do. So thanks a lot, Runner Dude. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, Dawn. And we genuinely soon hope to make you part of the Tilson family. Bye, everybody.